Hi guys, welcome to another Inkscape video tutorial in which we are going to learn how we can use Selector Tool in multiple ways or how we can select different objects. So one of the oldest pieces of advice for using graphic application is the phrase, if you want to affect it, you must select it. Well, that's still true today and it's true in case of Inkscape as well. So let's take a look at how to select different objects and how we can use Selector Tool. Okay, so if you want to access Selector Tool, so what you can do is in the Inkscape, you can go into the toolbox and here onto the top, you can see this icon. So this icon is to select and transform objects. So you can just click on this icon, or what you can do is you can just press S on your keyboard, and then in this way you can access Selector Tool. Okay, let's say I want to draw a rectangle here. So I'm just gonna draw a rectangle here. And now if I want to toggle between rectangle tool and between the selector tool, even no matter which tool you are using or in which tool you have selected. So if you are going to toggle between that specific tool and between the selector, you can just press the space icon on your keyboard and then you are going to move into the selector tool, as you can see here. Right now I am into the selector tool. I can just move it. I can just play with the size. I can modify it. Right now, look at that. I'm into the selector tool. And now if I want to go back, I need to press space key again. So again, I'm back into the rectangle tool. So now again, what I can do is I can just play with my rectangle. I can modify it, or if I want, I can create one more rectangle. Now, if I want to go back, same, I can just press space again. Same in the case of ellipse tool or even whatever tool. So let's say I want to create an ellipse here. It's selected half ellipse, so I am not gonna go into the settings. So maybe if you want, what you can do is you can go into the selecting, you can go into the, let's say from here I can just change quickly my half ellipse to the full ellipse. Okay, this is my ellipse, and right now I am into the ellipse, and if I want to go into the selector tool, then I just need to press space key again. Look at that. I'm gonna go back into the selector tool. So by selector tool again, I can move here and there, I can change, I can modify it. And now if I want to go back into the ellipse, I'm gonna press again the space key on my keyboard, and now I am back. Okay, so if you have a shape tool, so what you can do is you can click. Right now, as you can see, I have an ellipse tool, and if I'm going to click on the rectangle, so by being into the shape tool, I can just modify any other shape, as you can see here. But I can just modify it. But if I want to create another rectangle, I can't. If I want to select this, I would not able to select this. If I'm going to select this, look at that. It's going to create a ellipse here, as you can see. Okay, so now what I want is I want to go back into the selector tool. So I'm going to press space key, and then I'm going to select this ellipse, and then I'm going to hit delete key on my keyboard, and then I'm going to delete this ellipse. There is another interesting thing, like if you are ready into the selector tool, so what you can do is if you are going to double click to any draw, and then it's going to move into that object tool, and then you can play and you can modify. Let's say right now I'm into the selector tool, and if I'm going to double click on this rectangle, so it's going to move me, it's going to bring me to the rectangle tool, as you can see here. Now I'm going to go back into the selector tool by pressing the space key, and now let's say I'm into the selector tool, and now I'm gonna double click again onto the ellipse. So it's gonna bring me to the ellipse tool, as you can see here. Same in the case of other figures as well. Hi guys, sorry for distraction, but if you think my videos are helpful and if you are a serious Inkscape learner, then I'm gonna recommend you can go into the description of this video where you would find my course link where I have over 7 hours of Inkscape videos. In every video, I explain each and every individual tool with an example as well. Moreover, if you want to collaborate, if you have some kind of projects or assignment and you want to connect, feel free to contact me with my email, which is also given into the description. Thank you. Okay, now if I want to select all the objects, again I need to go into the selector tool. Right now I am already into the selector tool. And then what I can do is I can just click, hold my cursor, and I can drag a big box around all the objects, you can see. So all the objects are going to be selected. As you can see, these dotted lines or around these objects. Or another thing is you can see into the status bar like how many objects right now are the selected. So right now 8 objects selected are different type of objects like rectangles, circle, star, ellipse, and all these objects are in layer 1. So right now if you are just gonna select one object, you can see such kind of this dotted box. So if you don't like this box, or if you want to change, there are different options. What you can do is you can double click onto the selector tool, and then you can go into the preferences setting, and into the preferences setting, into the tools, into the selector, you can see right now pre-object selection queue is box is selected. So if you don't want to have any icon, any box or anything, then you can choose none, or there is another option mark. So it's gonna make a diamond icon under the left of the object. But right now I would say I'm good with the box, so I'm just gonna let it box and then I'm gonna close it. Okay, so if you are gonna select all objects and when it happens to you like some specific object is not gonna be selected, then what can be the option? The option is like maybe that object is locked. But now the question is how I can unlock it, and from where I can see which object is locked, or from where I can lock them or unlock them. So for that, what you can do is you can go into the top menu, into the objects and layers and objects. So you can see right now you have just one layer. If you want to add multiple layers, you can just click here, which I'm going to cover in next videos. So right now I'm going to go into this layer. As you can see in this layer, I have this much objects. So these are 8 objects. So right now I already have 8 objects, which I already see by selecting all of the object like that. So if you are gonna select any object, specific object, you can just select from here, or you can just select from this here. And let's say if you want to lock any object, let's say I want to lock this rectangle. So what I can do is, as you can see, when I'm gonna go into this object, you can see there are 2 options. One is this visible icon and this is lock icon. So if I'm gonna lock it, and then you can see if I'm gonna go and select right now I am already into the selector tool, but I can select other objects, but I cannot select this object because this is locked. Okay, other than lock, there is another option. You can see here there is a visible icon. So if you want to make it visible or invisible, let's say I want to make it invisible, so you can see like it's invisible now. If I want to make it visible again, I can go back and I can make it visible again. So if you want to select multiple objects, what you can do is you can select from here, you can hold the shift key, and then like if you are gonna click one by one, it's gonna be selected one by one. But if you are gonna hold the shift key on your keyboard, and then it's gonna select multiple objects as much as you want. Now might be like it is not very practical because the name of these objects are just random names. So what you can do is if you want to change the names, you can double click on it. Let's say I want to go for the star. So this is this one. I need to delete this and star. So in this way, like, so I know what object I want to select. So in this way I can select it. Okay, so there are some other shortcut keys which I would like to share before finishing the video. So for example, if you want to select all the objects, you can use a shortcut key Control A. So in this way, all the objects are going to be selected. Or if you want to select one by one, what you can do is you can just select tab. You can tab, and then if you are going to click tab, so it's going to select one by one, as you can see into the layer as well. Or if you are going to select shift tab, you are going to hold the shift and then tab, then it's going to go to the opposite way. So other option is like if you want to hold the alt key on your keyboard, and then if you are going to just drag your cursor to as much as object you want, so they are going to select all the objects like that. Now if I'm gonna go here, I already holding alt key, and then if I'm gonna drag my cursor onto 2 objects, so they are gonna be selected. So what you can do is you can see all of these commands here into the menu under the edit, and you can see here all the commands, select all, and all the shortcut keys as well, select all in one layer. So by Control A, you can select all the objects into one layer, but if you are going to hold alt as well, Control Alt A, you can select all the objects into the all layer. So these kind of things and all these options and these shortcut keys are here. So I would say it's a great tool, which is Selector Tool into the Inkscape, and it gives you a lot of power. So you can play multiple things, you can perform multiple things, you can modify, you can switch between the commands, between the tools, and these kind of things. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe to support this channel, where you are gonna find a lot of videos and tutorials. And if you are a serious learner, I am gonna highly recommend you can go into the description of this video and you can find my course link, where I have over 5 hours of videos in which I have explained each and every tool in a very detailed video with an example as well. And if you have some projects or assignments or tasks, feel free to write me on my email, which is also given in the description. Thank you.